today. We see a chance of showers and storms, especially this afternoon. See an afternoon high around 85. Tonight, a chance of storms early and mainly clear skies with a low around 56. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies return. An afternoon high around 87. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Adam Carriker on The Ticket.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome, everybody, into Adam Carriker on The Ticket on this glorious Tuesday afternoon, technically noon. All right, as you know, every Monday and Friday, and maybe Tuesdays going forward, okay, I might be live. Maybe DP will join me to talk wrestling every Tuesday if he's not too busy. Him and I can discuss that. All right, get the thumbs up. I like that idea. Okay, so he's going to join me. We're going to chat, finish our conversation from a week ago, and then Jack Stark, again, he tried to join us yesterday. I had to try to move the interview last minute. My fault. He's going to join me today at 12:30. All right, Nebraska sports psychologist for their 3 national championship runs in the 1990s. He's been a part of their program for 15 years, Creighton for 16 years, UNO for 30 years. Fortune 500 companies, worked with over 100 companies. Looking forward to chat with him at 12:30. As always, check out Bonzel Pool and Spa, bonzelpool.com. Swimming pools, hot tubs, saunas. If you'd like to have one, they're the folks to go to. If you'd like to have yours taken care of, they take care of swimming pools, hot tubs, and saunas. Bonzelpool.com. Also, you can call them at 402-488-0148. They are located in Pioneers Plaza, 3201 Pioneers Boulevard, Lincoln, Nebraska. All right, I am joined today by the face that runs the place, the man with the plan, Mr. Derrick Pearson. DP, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, Mr. Carriker, I have to tell you that your entry song is fire, and it just does it for me. It just does it for me. So
if people don't know that I'm a wrestling fan by now, I am. That's Stone Cold's entrance song. A couple years ago, and Vershawn used to bring me on once a week, okay, before I officially joined The Ticket full time. Goldberg, he would always play Goldberg's entrance song for me. And actually, if I remember right, I think you asked me about a year and a half ago, right before I joined The Ticket officially, what entrance song do you want? And I requested the Austin entrance song, and you had to get it cleared. Am I remembering that right?
Yes. In fact, all statements of truth.
Okay. How hard was it to get that cleared so we could use it?
Not much. We just needed to know the number. Sometimes you just have to ask the easiest question. What's the number?
I got you. Okay. All right. So I wanted to kind of continue our conversation from last week. I want to talk about the greatest talkers of all time in WWE or pro wrestling history, period. But something occurred to me because we were debating, did WWE do the right thing with WrestleMania? Okay, going with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus The Rock and Roman Reigns, which was the original plan. So something occurred to me after we went off air. So put yourself in Triple H's position, okay? It's now your show. They've made it very clear this is the Paul Levesque era. Okay, Vince McMahon is the guy who built it up, made it a monster. But the past decade or so hadn't done the most popular job as far as putting the best product out there. There's a whole nother company that exists because people disliked it so much. Okay, and obviously he's got a whole lot of legal stuff going on, but that's neither here nor there for this conversation. If you're Paul Levesque and you've got the biggest movie star on planet Earth scheduled in your main event versus your guy, Roman Reigns, but the people want Cody Rhodes. But this is now your show. And you want to, I don't want to say endear yourself because that insinuates it, like kissing butt or something. I'm not saying that. but you want to start your era off in a positive manner with a bang. Let me put it to you like this. You're just starting the ticket today in Lincoln, Nebraska. It is a full-time pro wrestling show, hypothetical here. Everyone in Lincoln, Nebraska wants Cody Rhodes to be the main host of your main show, but you have The Rock scheduled. You're going to tell everybody in Lincoln, Nebraska, know your role, shut your mouth. We're going with The Rock. We're not going with the guy you want.
Yep.
Yes? Oh, wow. Okay.
100%. Mainly because my vision of this thing matters in full, because I'm seeing something beyond today. I'm seeing something beyond right now. The reason why I came in to this position was that there was a need for me to be in that position. Like, there was a reason for me to come through. So you can tell me that you want Cody, and I can say that Cody has value. I don't have to say that Cody doesn't have value, but I can say that for the pillar, all things that were built, that's like me saying I'm coming to Nebraska and I'm never going to talk about the years 71 through 97. That I'm only going to talk about Adrian Martinez, because that sometimes you have to be the grown up. Sometimes you have to be smarter than the market. Sometimes you drive the conversation. You change the narrative. You decide what's good for business because you know what you want the business to be. Like, the people will tell me, I want a daycare. Like, I want a frat, I want a grown frat radio station. No, I want grown-ups being grown-ups. And sometimes you have to tell the frat boys, hey, zip it, Skippy. Grown-ups are talking. Let us do business over here. Fall in line.
So, okay, I get what you're saying, but right out the gate, all right, you're going to say no, and that's your initial impression. You're going to turn heel right out the gate, okay? But you're not concerned that it's not going to, what's the hypothetical wrestling world? What do they call that?
Well, I don't have to worry. It's the thing that if I decided that Adam Carriker was the guy that I wanted in the middle of my new lineup, they could tell me that they want any variety of people. But I know what I see in Adam Carriker. I know the legacy behind Adam Carriker. I know all the stories that are tied to Adam Carriker. They may not know them. They may not care yet. But sometimes it's in the place to say, here's what's better. Remember, they fought over different titles being passed along. That's always been the case. Okay, this is no different. This is no difference. And remember, this was a guy that, quite frankly, I had fired 4 years ago. People forget, the WWE fired Cody 4 years ago. He had to go recreate himself. So listen, you already had a chance to love Cody the way you love him now. You didn't. So he had to go somewhere else to grow up and then come back as grown man Cody, not Dusty's baby boy. So yeah, I'm okay with going out on the ledge and riding with the known entity, the greatest force in all of sports entertainment.
So Vince McMahon used to talk about grapefruits. DP sitting here with grapefruits, ladies and gentlemen. That is not an easy thing to say, and I fully believe you would do it if you were in that position. So I can respect that. Okay. Yeah. A man who lives by the courage of his convictions, whether you agree with them, whatever this may be, whatever the scenario may be or not, you can always respect that. Now, what if I throw this at you? Because I saw this yesterday. Oh, I forget what the metrics were. I didn't take notes, a screenshot, or write it down. I was just kind of scrolling through my phone. I want to say it's merchandise and I forget what all it is. But whatever metrics they were referring to yesterday, which would strengthen my argument if I had them in front of me. I know how that sounds. But Cody's already surpassed John Cena in a lot of these metrics. And he's already done things that Cena never did. And it goes all the way back to Rock and Austin before you see metrics like this again when it comes to merchandise. And I think it's some of the ticket sales because they've been setting records and whatnot. Does that change your mind at all?
No, because access, the internet. The internet didn't look, it wasn't rolling like this. You can't you don't have all of your pay processes on your phone. You can't track it at phone. Back in their day, you had it on your laptop, but you didn't have it on your phone. You couldn't just you could only buy those shirts in the arena in the night in which it was there. Now you can buy them sitting at home 6 states away. And listen, social media has allowed, one, the same curse that they have of breaking kayfabe, but it also allows more people into it, and more people are buying because you have access. You have the internet, you have websites, you have marketing teams behind you to drive that. If you put The Rock as an isolated form into today's social media, remember, Rock's the old man now, but you imagine young Rock coming out of the University of Miami and putting him side by side, step for step, next to Cody Rhodes. No, he would crush Cody Rhodes. He would crush him in every facet. How do we know that? Because it took The Rock and Cena to clear the path for Cody. They had to actually they had to get him on the Regis and Kathy Lee show and the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and they had to do all those things. Well, now they do that sitting from the couch. They do that from their home. They do it from a studio. They do it. Yeah, you tell me that you're selling more Cody shirts. Yeah, because you have a bigger machine behind you to do so. Cody's not more popular than The Rock for longevity's sake. He's just for young for young folks. Yeah, he's their guy. He should do well. But Cody's people have more access than The Rock's did. Rock's people are on Facebook. Cody's people are on Instagram. There's a difference.
I know exactly what that means. That makes a lot of sense. Much love to people on Facebook, Instagram, etc.
Right.
All right. Now, The Rock, I mean, far be it from me to question anything, the biggest male star, probably biggest star on planet Earth. He's had some stumbles lately. Okay. The Young Rock, his TV show got canceled. Black Adam didn't quite have the success. I think there was going to be a second movie that's no longer going to happen. Does any of that concern you at all with The Rock? Like, maybe this guy's had such a phenomenal all-time run, but you can't do it forever. And eventually there's a little bit of a downslope for everybody, no matter who you are. Do you think he may be a little bit on that, starting that downslope just a smidge or not?
So we're talking about a man who is worth $800 million.
I'm surprised it's not more, to be honest, but yeah, no, that makes sense.
Right. $800 million. Do you realize that if you collected all of the professional wrestlers and put them together under one umbrella, they're not worth what Dwayne The Rock Johnson's worth? So as a matter of fact, when they said he's the final boss, they should all be concerned, because guess what? It's no different. Vince has gone through his collapse. Shane has disappeared. Stephanie has kind of de-evolved. Linda has fallen off the face of the earth. And quite frankly, they're doing okay. So if The Rock takes a step back, that just means for him that he's not worth $900 million next year.
Yeah, I get it. So I've got, because I personally, like I mentioned last week, I would have gone with Cody, although it's like, it's two good choices. There's no wrong choice here.
Right. Okay.
I'm going to make one more point to kind of validate why I would have gone that way, but then I'm actually going to make a point to unvalidate why I would have, and my single biggest concern with going with Cody. Okay. And I'll give you a heads up, the short term. You're right. The Rock is more long term. Cody's a little bit more short term. But I think one reason I would have gone with Cody is Vince said no to the people for so long. He said, I'm smarter than you for so long. I think people were sick of it. And I think if I'm Triple H, I can be the guy of the people, for the people. And this gives me the opportunity to do that. Okay. And so that's how I would have looked at it. Now, the big concern, Cody went off and he was the hero for AEW. He was the biggest. Jericho was the biggest name, but he was the most popular guy when AEW started. Okay. And then by the time he left, they were throwing his shirt back at him like ECW and John Cena. They were booing him out of they hated that guy. And my concern, I personally am not a big fan of Cody the wrestler. He seems like a great guy. Everything I hear, he's phenomenal. I find him cheesy. I do. I don't really, and I see why he's over. I think it's more about the push. I think it's more about we want to take an AEW guy, make him a star, so more people come over, like Jade Cargill, etc. And for me, I like The Rock way better. I like the Final Boss way better than the American Nightmare personally. But my concern from a business aspect is, at some point, when do other people start to feel like the AEW fans, and do they turn on him? And then he becomes the biggest heel in the business, maybe? I don't know, but that would have been my single biggest concern, is when do people turn on him like the AEW fans did?
Well, I mean, it's inevitable. It's always happened. It is a part of the journey that, for as high as you go, I mean, it happened with Bob Backlund. The only person that's never been booed was Bruno Sammartino. That's like everybody else as a face. At some point, you turn. Roman Reigns, he was a face, turned because people didn't like him. Batista, great villain, terrible face. They booed him. Triple H, they didn't like him. They wanted DMX. They like, wait a minute, they want DX. They you can't make people want what they don't want. Now, Cody, it's going to happen, and Cody will make an amazing heel. He will make an incredible heel. He looks like a made heel. I mean, the American Nightmare, really? Nightmare. Like, what? Wait a minute. He's literally telling you that's the next plot twist. Why? Because you're going to bring back Roman, and the people are clamoring for Roman. Roman had to leave in order for them to love him. And now he'll come back and he'll be the face, and it'll be another run, and they'll try to figure out what it is. Because after a while, you're going to need more heels. You're going to need great heels, because the heels you have now, people aren't particularly interested in.
I would agree. I don't think they have great heels right now, and that hurts the faces. The critics of Cody are like his first couple of matches. I mean, you got Logan Paul, who does a great job, AJ Styles, I mean, great workers in the ring. Some people feel like it's been a little bit flat, but I'm like, who in the company do you just flat out hate? The biggest guy that people hate, so to speak, okay, in a pro wrestling sense, is Logan Paul. Okay, he's also a big star. Who else? I can't think of anybody else that's even on that level. Can you? Who?
Dominic.
Oh, well, he's not ready for a championship match yet. But yes, you're correct.
No, but I put in my official paperwork to be adopted by Rey Mysterio, because if you're Rey's son, you get to make out with both Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, and that would be the greatest clause addition that you could have in WWE history. Like, that's the great, like, can there be a less deserving person in the history of wrestling to make out with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley than Dominic Mysterio?
Dude, that guy's he's living the life right now.
Oh, so. Man. Like, come on. Like, come on. Like, when that script shows up, does everybody just throw their hands in there like, come on? Like, you couldn't give that to, like, literally every other wrestler in the organization just went, but why? What? I'm here. If I'm Drew McIntyre, keep the title. Give me Liv, man. Wait. I don't understand. Yeah, Gunter, I don't understand. They're going to turn him into a face. He's so vanilla that people love him. Like, there's nothing magnificent about him. Nothing.
Thank you.
Like,
I've never understood it with Gunther. Is it Gunther?
Hoss and I, whenever we talk about him, I have to say his name like Seinfeld says Newman. Gunter. Like, I want to say it wrong out of pure disrespect.
Yeah,
like, he looks like he's never had leg day.
Yep.
He doesn't eat steak. He's not, like, I don't know what his thing is, other than he looks like, you know who he looks like? He reminds me of the movie, the cheerleader movie, and there's a guy that says, "These are spirit fingers."
Is that Bring It On? Just Bring It?
Yeah.
One of those?
That guy is Gunter. Like, that's
yeah. I see that.
Like, he's the angry cheer teacher. That's the way I see him, not the longest reigning intercontinental champion in history. So
So thank you, because since he came up, I've been like, all right, if you put this guy in a suit, like head up, he looks like he'd look really good in a suit from like a character WWE, point of view. But
Yeah,
he's never had leg
he's
day.
Regal. He's
I think, yeah, he never has. Well, I liked Regal because he had a certain swagger, and you
Right.
better not F with me in real life about him. And I like
Yeah.
that about him.
Yeah, he actually could fight.
Yeah. Gunther's never done leg day. I think he does upper body day once every other month. I just don't get it. I've never get it. I've never understood it. And it's like the WWE just said, you're our guy. And I've never heard anyone else say it. So thank you for saying that. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Well, Adam, like we come from the process that, listen, in the back of my mind, I at least want the idea that if you and I were locked in a closet, he's going to have a problem getting out. Right.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way about Gunther. I don't feel that way about Dominic. I don't feel that, like, there's certain wrestlers and a lot of the AEW stuff. You're a great gymnast. You can't fight. And if you can't fight, but listen, you imagine goal line against you and Gunther. We know how this would end, right? Like we know how this would end. So I can't respect you as a fighter. Performer, sure. Fighter, not so much.
The one thing that I will give Gunther, however you say it, is he carries himself with a certain manner. That's the only thing that makes me believe he's got a little bit of star quality to him, is the way he presents himself and he carries himself. But beyond that, I just don't get it. I don't get it at all, and I never have.
No, I'm not in that club. Most of the heel has to feel like I have to be afraid of you. Not just dislike you, but I have to have some fear that, that dude's a problem. Like, at least with Solo, I feel like I don't want to walk out of a club at 12:30 in the morning and see him standing there. Like that. That dude's a problem.
Yep.
Yeah. Otherwise, no, I'm not. I mean, Drew McIntyre, kind of weird. I get it. I like heel Sheamus more than face Sheamus.
I do too.
There's certain people that are just better heels. I'm just not sure that they're programming or writing them properly.
So, first of all, when it comes to Sheamus, I will never forget when John Cena, I was in St. Louis, so this is probably like 15, 17 years ago, something like that, called him the human jar of mayonnaise. I've never forgotten that line in my life. It just has stuck with me for years. Yeah, but I had the opportunity to just briefly backstage meet Drew McIntyre one time and Liv Morgan. She could not have been any nicer, any friendlier. Jacob was with me. He was probably like 10, 11 at the time. Drew was funny, man. He had like this, of course, I'm not your typical fan. I walk in and I look like I'm the next guy trying to be a wrestler. So he looked at me like, who the hell are you?
Yep,
and like he wanted to fight me.
Yeah, right.
I was like, dude, I'm just here with my kid. And then he was much friendlier and nicer. But originally, he was like giving me the sideways look, and I'm like, all right, let's go, dude. I don't know what this is about, but let's do it.
But Adam, that's the actual perfect way it should be. Like that. Listen, when you go back there, if it at least makes them respect your presence. There are too many dudes back there that look like they just got out of yoga class. Like that. Like that's the thing. It's like, no, we in the fight business. I understand the entertainment side of it, but in the end, if you can't fight, I'm not buying.
You got to look like it anyways,
Yep.
So we can spend like 50 shows on AEW and what they do well and what they don't do well. Sure. The one of the biggest things that bothers me, well, there's two things. They prioritize the match over the story. Okay. I'm more interested in the story than the match any day of the week. If there's a great match, awesome, story gets me invested. And anytime it's a small guy versus the small guy always wins. Every time. Like they're batting 1,000 with the small gymnast always beating the guy who actually looks like he can fight. And I know why Tony does it. I don't agree with it.
Well, I mean, you manage how you live. And if you're a little dude and you need a way to leverage out or balance the big guy, and you did that. I mean, that's the whole Daniel Bryan, Tommy Rich, Ricky Morton. We've done this before. People forget that we've done this before. And they don't recognize that you're being fed to give little guys a chance. And the whole AJ Styles thing. No, you're a little dude. Look, you look like a hairdresser, man. Chill out. Like
That's true.
like chill out, bro. Like I know you mad because you're short, but you and Jericho need to figure out and get better lifts, and you look like you'll be fine. You're never gonna look like Adam Carriker. That's just the way it works. Sorry.
So I know we got to go to a break soon. Years ago, Jacob, I got pictures with him with Angle and Hogan and Brooke and all them. He was like 4. So it was at TNA. The family and I were going to Disney World and all that. And I just broke away to go to a TNA taping, and Brian Hebner, got us backstage because he's a big time Washington football Redskins fan.
Yep.
And I just walked by AJ in the hallway. Now, this was not long hair, soccer mom, hairdresser AJ. This was short hair, a little bit more in his prime, although he still does a great job for the most part. Yeah. We just walked by each other. Dude, again, another death stare from this guy. I'm just like, do I got to fight everybody? I just want my son to meet people here. Just chill out, folks.
Yes, you have to. Hey, listen. You get all the perks of being a man monster, Adam Carriker. The few things negative is that, guess what? You get sized up all the time.
And I'm used to that. I'm used to that out in public. If someone recognizes me or they don't, I usually get, if they don't know me, they're like, dude, you're huge. You must have done something.
Yeah.
And then I usually respond with like, yeah, water polo, ping pong or something, something sarcastic.
Right.
But like when I go to something like that, Bully Ray, I saw him in the bathroom. Okay, I was going to the bathroom. He's washing his hands. He gave me the death stare. It's just like, all right, just line them up. Let's all get in a steel cage, 10 on 1. Let's just, I don't know if I'm going to walk out, but let's do this type deal,
That's the perfect idea. That is just literally, I say it to Rico all the time. Cage match. If you have friction, get in the cage. Work it out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for joining me, DP. So every Tuesday, are you good?
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. We're going to pay some bills. We'll come right back, and I will chat with Mr. Jack Stark. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
For the second year, the Nebraska Lottery's NASCAR Powerball Playoff promotion has roared into our state, and the excitement is throttling up. Until June 24th, buy a Powerball ticket with Power Play and Double Play. Enter the voucher number, and you could be one of 15 Nebraska winners of $1,000 and the chance to win a VIP trip to the NASCAR Cup Series Championship Weekend, plus a shot at $1 million. Enter today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we see a chance of showers and storms, especially this afternoon. It's an afternoon high around 85. Tonight, a chance of storms early and mainly clear skies with a low around 56. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies return, an afternoon high around 87. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online and at prg-ne.com.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse, we're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plant for success with the industry's latest technology. Upgrade to an exactly merged high-speed planter to cover more acres, increasing flexibility and productivity. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location to order your new John Deere planter and experience the Landmark difference.
Wall-to-Wall Wine & Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine & Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's truck month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard right. That's 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Koppel in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value. Play ball!
Summertime is here, and so is another action-packed baseball season with the Lincoln Salt Dogs. Bring your whole crew to Haymarket Park to experience the magic under the lights and the thrill of the game. Enjoy daily specials like Wiener Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, and Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts. Don't miss out on the excitement.
Strike 3, you're out!
Visit saltdogs.com to see this week's promotions and secure your tickets to unleash the fun.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome, everybody, back into Adam Carriker on The Ticket. All right, I'm excited for the guest I'm about to bring on, but real quick, check out all things 93.7 The Ticket on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, theticket.com, also Carriker Chronicles. Mostly the website, carrikerchronicles.com, and Carriker Chronicles on YouTube as well. And now it is official. DP, Derrick Pearson, and I, every Tuesday throughout the summer, we will be dropping that knowledge, hopefully a little bit anyways. We will be agreeing, disagreeing, and having fun, chatting a little bit of pro wrestling throughout the summer here every Tuesday going forward. But now I want to bring on my guest. Now, this is a man who received his PhD from UNL, consulted more than 100 companies and several Fortune 500 corporations on team building and executive leadership. He's been a sports psychologist and helped more than 40 collegiate teams, numerous pro teams, been a part of 22 national championship teams, 3 with the Huskers, 94, 95, 97, the football team. Also advised NASCAR teams, Olympic medal winners. Okay, and he's been a sports psychologist at UNL. He was for 15 years, Creighton for 16 years, UNO for 30 years. He's been married for 50 years. I'm not going to lie. That's the one that stuck out the most to me. He's also a member of the Board of Regents, Mr. Jack Stark. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. All right, man. Right out the gate, 50 years of marriage. Give me some advice. What can I do? I'm going on 18, so I'm not doing bad. What's your biggest advice?
Well, I congratulate you because you turned 40. You got 6 kids. You got your hands full, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I do.
That's why you don't have a lot of hair, huh?
Oh, it's still there, but it's going faster than I'd like. I will admit that.
Yeah. Well, we always had a rule, and I always told my patients, one night a week she would get off. She could go in the other room. One night a week I would take off. I usually did Monday nights so I could watch TV and give them pizza, watch football.
Yeah.
Then one night was date night, and one night's family night, and you switch off, and then every 3 months. You take a 2-day vacation without the kids. Every 7 years, you do a marriage retreat. So
wow, okay,
how it worked. So
that is awesome.
You got to stick to it and work at it. But I was blessed too. That helps.
That is, I got to be honest. I feel like I should have been taking notes. That was honestly a lot of great advice right there, and I've got it in my head. When we hang up here, go to break, I'm going to write that stuff down. All right, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Sure. So from a sports perspective, so being a guy who played in the college and an NFL, and I coach kids now. Okay, I've coached for the past 7 years youth sports. I head coach on average 3 teams a year, assistant coach of 4. So it's very basic math. I've been a part of coaching 28 teams, head coach 21 youth sports teams. And I feel like my wife and I are the only 2 coaches that I'm aware of in the area where we currently live, and we're in the process of moving back to Lincoln, that focuses much on the neck up as the head down. I feel like everybody else is so focused on the neck down. It's the 6 inches between the ears that there's a lot of talented people on planet Earth. I mean, there's literally millions of people with so much insane athleticism. It's crazy, but there aren't anywhere near that many people that, play beyond high school. Not that that's the only barometer, but talk to me, because I value the psychological part of sports as much or more than just about anybody I know. Okay, so talk to me. How important is the mental approach, psychology to an athlete and their performance?
Well, this is how I explain it. In high school, it's physical is 50%, mental is the other 50%. College, it's 80% mental, 20% physical. And pros, it's like 95% mental because they're all good. They're all talented, right? You played with them.
Yep.
The thing that I think that maybe made a difference for you, because I was with you for your freshman year there, because I was there till 2003 with Solich, is we had a culture embedded by Tom Osborne. Tom Osborne has a PhD in psychology, the only one in the nation. And he was in the same exact, I grew up 5 miles from him in Hastings, like you from Hastings. And then I got my PhD in the same department, same training, behavioral stuff. So I didn't have to explain a lot to him. He appreciated the mental part. And you playing at a very high level in the pros, you knew, I mean, particularly being that rush in and stuff, you had to outfigure the guys out, right? Constantly figuring out their moves but I am stunned like you. I've been in this business forever, and I am stunned the number of coaches that just think it's psychobabble or hooey, and it's partly because they don't know how to do it. So when I work with people, like I get calls every night from kids, I do freebie. I've been doing freebie stuff for 40 years. I say, okay, I want your mom or dad or your coach to be on the line because I want to give it away. I don't charge, never have charged. High school, college, a little bit in the pros. But so the mental part. So what I did is if you'll probably remember, I went and did a lot of research on it, and I went and made tapes, audio tapes, and I downloaded into people's phones. Now, the old days, I did the cassettes. People look at me like, "What's a cassette?"
Yep.
Then we had the disc and stuff. But being able to, and so I got 130 players. I can't work with everybody before the game. Like with Doug McDermott, I did hypnosis every single game for 4 years at Creighton. Every game, home and away.
Wow.
4 or 5 years in the pros. And now he does it on his own. And it's such a discipline because you get too hyped up. And so I kind of, you figure the personality out. And then and I have 6 tapes, and each of them are designed to help a person, whether it's, first one is just overall anxiety. Second one is kind of a panic attack, or I'm right in the middle of things. Third, I can't stop thinking about things. I obsess on losing. Fourth, I can't visualize what I'm supposed to do or go. Fifth is hypnosis pre-event. I get calls every year. Hey, we're going to be in the state tournament this weekend. Can you help us? Oh my God, give me 4 or 5 days. So I teach them how. And then sixth one is sleep. And I'm doing a new book on it. I'm giving it away. Ted Carter, the Top Gun, former president of the university, and Top Gun. The whole movie was made about him. So we're doing it together. So I can have a chapter on each of those. And I'm giving it away. Trying to find money to give it away to kids. But so I've been doing the mental stuff, and I'm like you. I'm still amazed at not that, particularly at your level. God bless you for doing all that. That's pretty impressive for all those teams. But you and your wife, yeah, it's and I love doing the workshops, teaching coaches. I've done a lot of state high school coaches conventions to national. I've done American Football Coach Association, hockey, basketball, all the ADs in the country. I'm still stunned when I did all the ADs in the country. I was stunned at the number of people that kind of want to do it, but they don't know how to get into it. I mean, they don't know where to start. So you're right. It's important. And the guys who do it and good at it, man, it pays off. And so I ask players, I'll finalize this on the note. I ask people, how many practices you had that are just mental, not physical? They look at me with this blank stare and they go, well, none. I go, exactly. You don't have a single practice just mentally. A lot of the guys, the golfers do this a little bit. Preseason, they'll just do the mental. And particularly when guys get hurt, guys or gals, that's when you really want to do the mental, because your brain doesn't remember a month or two later, did you actually practice, or did you just go through the practice in your mind watching the team work out? It gets embedded. So that's why I watch like a Larry Bird could come back quicker with a bad back because he did that mental stuff. Although a lot of them didn't talk about it. So that's my thing on the mental stuff.
So a couple of things. Did you say that Top Gun is based on Ted Carter? Is that what you said?
Well, a lot of it, because that whole scenario of diving down and shooting him, he did that was him. He worked with Tom Cruise. So they took a lot of the stuff off. Look, what he did is they had 6 planes. I think these were F-14s, and they were 6 inches apart, and they flew together, 6 of them, I think, 6 inches apart for 4 hours. They came in. They had the guy ahead of him shot his missile into a bunker, 4-foot bunker. He shot a missile 1 second behind, went through a shaft to blow up the communications thing. So that concept came from Ted Carter. Yes. By the way, he has 225 combat missions, 2,000 carrier landings. He has the records and all of them. We never really appreciated all that stuff. The guy's got 2-3 pages of medals. He's an incredible guy. I don't know how he's alive.
That is a lot. All of that is amazing. So I knew some of that about the former president, Ted Carter, here at Nebraska. I had no idea about the Top Gun stuff, working with Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah.
One last question about that, but I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Do you know how he got affiliated with working with Tom Cruise? Do you know that at all, how that kind of came to be?
I'm not totally sure, but they brought him back. See, he was, I don't know if that was during before he came here to us, but he was he was head of the Naval Academy. So some of that, the filming was done a number of years back. So he was, and then there's the plane outside the Naval Academy. It's his plane. It's got his name on it. Slapshot.
Oh, wow.
He used to play hockey, and so he was spent 2 terms being head of the Naval Academy, and then before that, he did a 2-year term and head of the War College. So this dude's been around. You go from War College to run the Naval Academy, and he's a sports addict because he played hockey at the Naval Academy, and he was captain. By the way, I don't know if you know the history in hockey, but if you get a C on your jersey, that's a really big deal. That it's nothing like, there's no other sport that has the history associated with that C on your jersey like hockey. It's an old thing. So
wow.
Yeah, a lot of it had to do with Ted's background and stuff. So we did a special thing. We invited a couple hundred people, put on a showing of Top Gun. He talked a little bit about what he did and what he went through and stuff. And we had a dinner afterwards. It was a blast. Mr. Yanni in Omaha put it on for him.
I feel like we could do an entire interview about this. This is incredibly fascinating stuff. I might have to bring you on again in the near future. I do want to get back to the sports psychology part of this because something that Matt Rule has talked about, that is, my mind is blown by a lot of things you just told me about the whole Top Gun and Ted Carter, which some of it I knew. But anyways, I'm excited to hear about that more in the future. I want to bring you back on, but let's get back to the sports psychology part of it, because Matt Rule has said that the team that Nebraska had last year, Monday through Friday, was different than the team on Saturday. Like, they didn't quite play as well in the games as they did in practices, as they performed in practices. And he said, there were some guys, he knew that they came in at halftime and they'd be worried about trending on some sort of social media platform. Like, if they messed up or screwed up, am I all of a sudden trending? Which, I'll be honest with you, if people who've never been in that position want to laugh at that thought, that's an easy thing to do if you've never been in that position. If you've been in that position, or at least been analyzed to any sort of a higher degree, it's very easy to understand why they might feel that way. So what advice would you give the players on how they take their performance and practice to the games? And also, like, there's such scrutiny on social media today. What advice would you give them on dealing with that?
Well, first of all, what's the problem? The problem is it's 3 times harder today to do the mental. Why do I say that? Because think about it now. It's NIL money, millions of dollars. And now we're going to cap players and we're going to pay them. These guys, and then now we're having people bet on individual players. Think about that. Everything you do. I mean, all those O linemen, D linemen could get buried and stuff. Now everybody gets, and the media attention is crazy. So now the mental part can really get in your head. Before, the reason why we had such a great culture, I think a lot of it was because of Unity Council. Guys were helping each other out. They look out after each other. And if they were doing anything wrong, they get a talking from Jason, Peter, and Grant Wistrom. I mean, they'd say, dude, you're not going out drinking on Thursday night. You understand what I'm saying? And they just took care of things. And they held people accountable. That's the problem. Today, it's hard to hold them accountable because so many people are in their head. And you gotta, it's a culture thing. You gotta have a really tight Unity Council, and it's really hard to do because everybody's on their different pay scale. And then they don't stick around for 4 years. Before, we always had them for 4 or 5 years. Now it's really tough. They're there for 1 year, maybe 2. But I like what Matt Rule's doing. Matt Rule has one of my colleagues, which said to me, nobody cares about the 90s. I say, oh, really? Why is Matt Rule he's totally identifying and doing everything Tom Osborne did. He had a long talk with him when he came here. What's he doing? Remember, we went from a 5.2 to a 4.3 and thought that was a big deal. We went after speed. Well, he's going to a 3.4 and getting speed. He's doing 3 or 4 or 5 different units every day going against each other. Most teams do have 1 or 2 out there. Everybody sits down. So and he knows he's got to have a running game in November. So he's adopted everything with Tom. But I don't think the culture has really, and it takes 3 years to build a culture. Because when I told Osborne after the 90 season that we needed to change things, that's when I implemented the 91 Unity Council. I told him, I said, Coach, in 3 years, I think we'll win a national championship. I thought I was crazy saying it. He looked at me and said, you don't understand. This better work now. Well, what happened? 3 years? We had one fingertip lost a championship. Then we went 60-3 during that 5 years. 60-3. Why was it? We had good players, but man, we had such incredible unity. Guys got along, and we worked individually in depth with all of these guys and their coaches on the mental part of the game. They knew they could call me anytime, night or day. I'd get out of bed, go down there. They'd stand beside me on the sidelines and say, Jack, I need to talk to you. If they didn't want anybody to know about it, I made home calls almost every other day. I would make a home call at night, see the guys. So there's a lot going on with these guys. If they got a problem with their girlfriend, their mom, their dad, their brother, their sister, whatever's going on, you got to deal with it. You got to be embedded. I hope that answers your question.
No, that was great. So you are on the Board of Regents. So I'd be remiss, and answer this however you want. Okay. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, were you guys caught off guard with Trev Alberts going to A&M? And the Board of Regents took a lot of heat at one point. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that was fair or not? Like, what are your thoughts on that whole situation?
Okay, so I knew Trev his first day on campus, okay? And I followed him. I was at UNO all the years he was there. So I've known Trev for a long, long time. So it totally caught us off guard. I haven't been as involved with him as some of the other, maybe a couple other Board of Regents, because I'm trying to give him some space. You know, I know how hard it is to be an athletic director. When I spoke to all athletic directors, I was shocked. I was shocked at how many were burnt out, etc. It's a very difficult job. But he left. If he were my son, I would have told him to leave, because he wants to do something different. This is my opinion. He tried to become college football playoff. He applied for that. He wants to be maybe a commissioner. Being an AD is a step towards that. But he knows things are changing. Remember, he brought in Tony Petitti, the Big Ten commissioner, and 2 weeks later he made his announcement to leave. But Tony Petitti said, man, things are changing. I mean, this whole model is totally going to change. You got to be in here in the Big Ten with the big boys. You got to be having these programs. And I think that had an impact on him. So it caught us off guard. I think he'll do fine. I mean, they got a great program there. They got more money. But so there's just some things at a bigger facility, bigger state, more population you can do. We're constantly we're a land-grant university. We've got to take care of everybody. But we don't have the population. We don't have $1 billion in research or 10, 20 billion in stashed away in scholarship money that we can give away each year to the foundation. So there's just certain challenges we got to deal with, and it's hard. It's hard. And we're working on it. We're working on the AAU. We've got to keep that. We got to get that back because we're only 1 out of 18 now. So that's what we're working on a lot.
All right, last question. I appreciate your time. Then I'll let you get out of here. Obviously, you know a lot about former President Ted Carter. There was a thought that maybe it was taking too long to find his replacement. We know who the next president will be, Dr. Jeffrey Gold. So my question is this, the amount of time, to find his replacement, did you think it was a fair amount of time? And what excites you and the other Board of Regents so much about Dr. Jeffrey Gold as he's going to be our new president?
Good question. Good question. So, as you know, I've been around here. I went to school here. My graduate work, I've taught at the Med Center for 10 years. I worked with all the campuses, taught at all of them. So Dr. Gold has one of the most impressive resumes I've ever seen. I mean, he runs a $3 billion operation. The Med Center, $3 billion a year, and $1 billion for the medical school, and then $2 billion for almost 1,000 doctors that do 1.5 million patient visits to Nebraska medicine. So he's got the background experience, but you have to have that academic background to be able to get AAU. That's what we're excited about. I miss Ted Carter. I don't think we really, in my opinion, appreciated his abilities and knowledge. But the average length of time is 4 or 5 years. Adam, it's a really hard job. Nobody wants these jobs. There's so many openings for presidents around the country. I mean, it's crazy. They're turning them down because nobody wants them, because you don't last long. You get death threats. People come to your house. It's brutal. We've all experienced this with Board of Regents. It's not good. But I think he's going to do an excellent job. He's already talked to, Matt Rule and Troy Dannon, and he loves sports. He's not as big a sports guy background as maybe as Ted was, but he knows how to set up the system and the budget, and he's going to do it. The most important thing he can do for the football program is get us academically improved and get us in the AAU.
All right, Jack, I appreciate your time. Thank you for joining me. I'd love to have you on the program again at some point in the future. So many more questions I'd love to ask you and pick your brain at some point, but I appreciate your time today. Thank you for joining me, my friend.
All right, take care, buddy. Thanks. Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you fine folks tomorrow. Actually, Steve Taylor will be dropping that knowledge noon to 1 p.m. tomorrow, and then the Big Ten Show Thursday live on Friday. Until next time, go Big Red, and always remember to throw the bones.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's truck month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard